You know, I'm not much for drinking after seeing something so crappy, but after watching The Flash, I think things might change after this. Wow. Hello, welcome ladies and gentlemen, and welcome true believers. This is Vadafly, and welcome to my channel. I want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking the videos. It's been helping me getting some notice in the algorithm and bringing people to the channel. And gotta say, I appreciate it so much. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you are more than welcome to follow me on Instagram right over there. We talk about all kind of different things, and I do a lot of different cosplays and just kind of love superhero stuff. So let's get into it. The Flash, released last year. I know, Jesus, I missed that by a long margin. And I decided, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go watch this movie. I'm gonna finally watch The Flash. And what did I just watch? Now, I'm not trying to overplay it. I'm really not. There are some positive things in there, and I want to really kind of talk about those things. And also, I'm gonna make a rule. I'm not gonna talk about the Ezra Miller stuff. That's not what this channel's about. I'm just gonna kind of just talk about what I feel and kind of just put it from there. So The Flash, for this positives, I definitely love the mother character. The mother character is probably one of my favorite characters in this movie, besides Michael Keaton and the girl who played Supergirl, which was also very fantastic. I was a little worried, but how they executed the character for Kara and everything else was actually pretty great. The fact of the matter is that I thought this was really building up to something, and you could see the structure in the bones that was in there that really could have built up to something great, but they decided to drop the ball on that. The music choice I liked. OK Go, This Too Shall Pass. That is one of my favorite songs. I can't say enough how much I love to have that listen to that song. I have a tattoo of that on my right shoulder, so it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, this is great. As you can see, I'm stretching. I don't really have that many other positive things about this. So let's start off with the story. The story is about Barry Allen going back in time, trying to basically save his mom, which he does, in causing an event where basically in this timeline now there is no need for superheroes, not realizing that he created another, not realizing he basically more or less started a multiverse chain of events. So instead of what we knew as Superman in our world, we are left with Supergirl. Instead of the Ben Affleck Batman, we are going back to the Michael Keaton Batman, to a point where he has basically stopped all crime in Gotham City, so he has no reason to exist. So we deal with the two Barrys trying to find their way, trying to get their powers, because now Zod from Man of Steel is coming to Earth to wreck its shit. Now, once again, this premise sounds interesting, especially since this is based off the Flashpoint comic loosely. I wish I liked this movie. I really do, but this is another case of there's just too many multiverses, and there is just a lot of issues I have with this movie. First off, starting with Barry Allen, if you can do Barry Allen right in the television show, I don't understand what this was. I still don't understand what this is. Like, Barry Allen is, yeah, he's awkward, he's weird, but he's also one of those characters where he's very honest, he's very open, he's very forthcoming when it comes to certain information. That's the same way I have a problem with like how they always interpret Peter Parker in certain iterations, where they always show Peter as always this weird meek guy even after he was bitten by the spider, and it's like, no, Peter knows when he has to step up outside of being Spider-Man, and he knows when he needs to go, hey, look, that's not okay. And that's the same thing with this. Like, I really wish they kind of imitated the Flash CW television series Barry to kind of imitate that same vibe. But I think what they were trying to do was be very in the direction of comedy, so everything else kind of fell to the wayside. I don't even know what else to say to this movie. I'm not even joking. Like, I was awestruck by this movie. Like, there were certain things in this movie where I felt like it should have worked. Michael Keaton being Batman was a number one for me. The whole idea of the multiverse concept was another idea. And then once you actually see it in play, the weird CGI 1970s Superman, which I was not okay with. The Nicolas Cage Superman bit, which also I was not okay with, and I'm not alone. Tim Burton wasn't okay with that either. I just felt like this movie fell flat, and it's just another black eye for the DC universe. Because honestly, when you put out mediocre and subpar material, it's just gonna get worse. And yes, you can make good stuff afterwards, but you're gonna have to twist the arm of the fans to go see it. Like for me, for an example, I didn't see this movie until just now. So it's just kind of like, what do you do, guys? What do you do? I have no faith in the future of the DC projects. Okay, let me rephrase that. I have faith. I'm scared because we have more material where Tom King's getting brought on, which if you thought Zack Snyder was bad, if you were ever read Tom King's comics, yikes. And yeah, that's just dark parallel, just ugh. Heroes in Crisis is all I need to say. That ruined the character of Wally West in its entirety. And I just feel like this is the same way. This is just ruining characters that never got the chance to shine. I've always said before, I've always been a big fan of the Ben Affleck's Batman, and he doesn't get to shine. Gail Gadot, depending on what she's directed to do, I've always been a big fan of her. I've been a big fan of Jason Momoa, and this just kind of just craps on everything. And I'm trying my best to come up with some more material, but I'm completely honest here. I'm just awestruck by the lack of cohesion. And the crazy part about this is that they canceled Batgirl for this. Think about this. They canceled Batgirl, the movie that was apparently so bad that it was like, it was unshowable for this. I kind of want to see Batgirl now. Like, not even gonna lie, I kind of wish I could see Batgirl somewhere. I don't care. I just kind of want to see it to compare notes to see which one's worse. Because I'm sorry, this just really just sunk everything for me for the DCU. And I get it, it's supposed to be a reboot, but this is not the good way to start. Doesn't get your fans on board. And especially, like I mentioned before in my other video about James Gunn, this whole like interconnected, like every actor is going to be in every video game and comic and then cartoon, and I'm just like, that's just way too much. It's just way too much. And it just still feels like the DCU or just DC Comics are trying to play catch up. You know, another thing, I don't know why this is a thing. I gotta kind of need my drink for this one. Why do we say DC Comics? Why don't we just say DC? Because DC Comics means Detective Comics. Food for thought. I'm just, at this point, kind of numb to this whole situation. I cannot in the right mind recommend this movie. I've seen some people actually say this movie was good, and you know what? To each your own. I disagree with that hardcore. While the Batman scenes were cool and the Supergirl scenes were cool, and I even liked how this movie ended. Like, this movie ended on a very sad, somber note, and I was like, that's some balls to end it like that. And it's like, if those things were the only things that were tying this movie down, I probably would like this movie way more. But the two Barrys were just way too annoying. The lack of cohesion in this movie was way too painful. The jokes and the comedy were awful. I think I laughed like once in this movie, And it wasn't even like appropriately. It was like when Supergirl starts wrecking everybody's butt and when they free her, and that's when I kind of giggled because there was a scene where she comes up and she knocks one dude and it just looks so goofy, and I kind of laughed. But it was just like I didn't really chuckle all that much. As much as I'd love to see Michael Keaton back as Batman, man, this was not the movie. This is his No Way Home for him. You know, I wish they gave him a better movie to be in to really redeem himself as Batman. So my final grade on this, it's honestly an F. I cannot for the life of me recommend this movie. I just can't. Outside of the controversy, outside of everything else, this movie was very painful to watch, and it was very painful to sit through. I usually try to be more in depth and try to break down the story. I can't. I literally can't. That's the whole thing with multiverses and stuff like that. Kind of the reason why I kind of have a problem with Across the Spider-Verse. Come at me all you want, but I'll release that video here soon. But I have an issue with this kind of storytelling. It's because multiverse stories always end in the same typical fashion, and that's no different than this one. So I hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Please make sure to keep their heads above water. I love you guys. I hope that you guys are doing great out there, seriously. And I want to say thank you guys so much for getting me to 60 subscribers. I'm going to keep doing this, going to keep helping the community out and build my own community, and hopefully we can all be one big giant happy weird family. So with that being said, I love you guys. See you later, true believers. Peace.